Sheena Ringo is an art pop, art rock artist who has kind of gained traction over time. She's always been quite popular in Japan, but over the years, as time's gone on, as the internet has kind of allowed more access to lesser known artists in the music world, she's kind of gained traction over in the Western world too. Still not a recognizable name though, generally in the grander scheme of things, but you should definitely check out some of her work from the 2000s. There's some really good albums there, and I think a lot of music lovers will be into the work that she has put out. As much as I have liked her work, I must say that this newest one, Sandokushi, I believe it's called, I think it's the best one I've heard from her so far. This is an incredibly over-the-top and grandiose album that is very in-your-face, perhaps the most in-your-face album I think I've heard all year, but bear in mind I didn't hear Empath by Devin Townsend, and a lot of people were saying that that was an album that was completely in your face. The production is completely all over the place at points. You've got jazz, rock, pop, all kind of blended together into this almost musical type feel of an album. It kind of ends up creating this like Moulin Rouge experience where all the songs are just so wild and animated that you're just kind of staring at it in awe, just thinking, what is going on? And yet you're just very much happy with everything that's going on because it's just so much fun to listen to. The track The Narrow Way, which is easily one of the best tracks here, I think, it just feels like it's taken out of the La La Land soundtrack but amped up to the next level, to the point where there are just so many different ideas that have just been thrown in, and it doesn't make sense, like it shouldn't make sense, but it somehow just works. This is definitely one of those albums that's just like, if it was taken by someone else or in the wrong hands, then it could go completely wrong and it would just grate on your ears the whole way through, and you would just have one of the worst experiences. And I still feel like you could have that experience with this album though, because I do feel like you could listen to this and think it's one of the worst things you've heard all year. Like, I could totally imagine that. For me though, it's just drama done right. I mean, it's completely dramatic at points, especially tracks like Offline where she's just like singing, and it's almost very cheesy the way the instrumental comes through as well, but it just really blends together and creates, again, just a great moment on the album. There are a few moments though where like some vocal manipulation comes through, like there's a bit of an auto-tune on the intro track. Definitely could have being toned down a little bit, not the best introduction I think they could have gone for. And I suppose like the closing track as well doesn't really close things off very well. In fact, they probably should have just taken things to the next level the whole way through, whereas this final track just feels like it could have just been like in the middle of the album, maybe as like a little breathing point or something, because the second to last track is just, again, fucking balls to the wall. So I just feel like you should just end off the album the way you've been doing it the whole way through. But when the album is just surging with all the colours flying around, it is special. So many of these tracks just put a smile on my face. Even the guest features that come through as well, they just put their all in their performances. It's really wonderful to listen to. It's a very cinematic album. It's just gushing with so many childlike features that just makes it feel like it's been pulled straight from a Disney film. It's a very maximalist pop sound that I'm just finding to be equally as ridiculous as is fun. And I suppose over-explaining all the features that makes it great for me could easily make it just sound like it's the worst thing in the world to you, so I don't want to say too much. I feel like if you just go into this album with an open mind thinking, I don't know what to expect, then you may love it. But even a few listens later, I'm still like forgetting things, and it's just a nice little treat each time to play it and just be like, oh shit, I forgot about that little part. It's just one of those albums, you know? I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. I think it's a very bombastic album, but it's also a chaos that feels very controlled. Like everything is there for a reason. Like it's not just throwing anything at a wall and seeing what sticks. It's not one of those albums. I do feel like it's very calculated in all of its ridiculous craziness. Hopefully you get some enjoyment out of this. I do totally see why someone would absolutely hate this, but let me know what you think. Thank you for watching my review. Have a good day. Bye.